Today on Dr. Phil.
You went 20 years, roughly, with no recollection whatsoever of being molested by your father?
An accusation her father denies.
When did you have this memory, the first memory?
I only had one memory. Then it came full circle when the flashbacks started.
What is the truth?
These memories are real for me, and if they're not real, where do I go? Why would I make this?
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
Get ready to take care of you. Well, yesterday, I sat down with Larry, who said he was concerned that his 32-year-old daughter, T, had gone from a high-achieving A-plus student and professional dancer to hitting rock bottom with poor health and living at her mom's house without a job for years. Now, while Larry admitted that he was not always the most loving father, he said nothing prepared him for what happened next. He said his daughter, T, asked to meet up for lunch 4 years ago and then read him a letter accusing him of sexual abuse when she was a child, an accusation Larry, with the support of his current wife, Marcia, vehemently denies. Larry faced off with his ex-wife and daughter's mom, Jan, who claimed she didn't know of any abuse at the time, but would always support her daughter. Now, Larry refused to sit on stage or be anywhere near his daughter, so I excused him to speak to his daughter, T, who admitted to being anxious, confused, and needing help to deal with her pain. So here's what happened. Take a look.
My daughter, Taylor, has some mental and physical health issues.
Taylor has come to have some serious eating disorders as well.
But Larry says things went from bad to worse when Taylor confronted him with accusations so disturbing that he was left just feeling completely blindsided.
She said, "I've got a letter I want to read to you."
Dad, I want to tell you that I'm no longer blind or numb to the sexual abuse and trauma you put me through as a child.
Have you ever molested your daughter?
No, sir.
And you also had to share this with your now wife, Marcia.
Yes.
We hugged and we cried and tried to figure out how to deal with this.
Do you have any doubts of whether Larry is guilty of what he's accused of?
Absolutely not.
I'm not only Taylor's mom, I'm her best friend. She does live with me now. After her stint in LA is when I realized that she had an eating disorder. I just don't know where to go next.
What is your biggest concern about her right now?
She spends her whole day reliving trauma, and her way of dealing with it is her eating disorder.
And she has now made very serious accusations that her father had molested her. Do you believe that?
I'm not the judge, and I wasn't there.
If you believe her, you need to say so, and if you don't, you need to say so. You're not going to help her by being sucked into a delusional system if you think that's what it is. If you think you were married to a predator, if you think that he did this, you need to say so.
I moved to LA when I was 18, looking for a career in dance. LA was a disaster. It spiraled pretty quick with the binging, the purging, and my first PTSD memory. This memory, my dad sexually abusing me as a little girl. And he denies it. I don't want to be alone in this anymore. I'm so confused. I feel like an 8-year-old little girl in an adult world.
When you say that you're hopeless, anxious, and depressed, what about?
I have no purpose. I feel undeserving to be alive. And the only thing that gets me out of the bed is my eating disorder. Pretty
paradoxical, right? I mean, only reason you're getting up is to be with your disease, and your disease is killing you. Your mother has said, and I think you've confirmed, that you have different identities.
I have my little girl, and then I have, like, my teenage self, and then I have my adult.
And do you move between those parts?
Yeah, depending on my emotional state. All I know is that I'm depressed, I have an eating disorder, and it's like I don't know how to be in this world.
You went 20 years, roughly, with no recollection whatsoever of being molested by your father?
I only had one memory. And then it came full circle when the flashbacks started. Yeah.
So you did remember it?
The memory I had was just the bed with the dirty Kleenexes and my dad in his underwear. And it was a memory I've always had. And then when I had the rest of the flashback, it was a part of the memory. It was like it weaved right in. It was just like a part of the memory. It was just like a video. It just...
And when did you have this memory, the first memory, the one you said you had?
October 2017.
Well, no,
oh, the first one I've always remembered since a little girl. Yeah.
You've always remembered.
I've always remembered. I just didn't know what it wasn't really relevant. I just was like, oh, you know, and then when the flashback happened, that was a part of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'd only remembered, my brain had blocked everything else out.
So you did have some memory, you just weren't ever bothered by it?
Right, because it wasn't abusive. It was just the memory of my dad in his underwear and the bed and Kleenexes in there.
Well, so when these repressed memories came flooding back, you, of course, were upset with him, I can understand. How upset were you with your mother?
It was hard. It was, you know, for her not being there, and not protecting me, not keeping me safe. She didn't, you know.
Have you talked to her about that?
Yeah. We've talked a lot about it. There's been a lot of therapy.
And what did you say about that?
I told her I did the best I could because I couldn't always be around her.
So you accepted the validity of what she was saying on its face?
Yeah, I did. Just only, I accepted it because at the time I was caught off guard, of course, and I'm like, okay, we need to figure this out.
These memories are real for me, and if they're not real, where do I go? I'm crazy then. I don't, why would I just have these memories? Why? Why would they just come? Why would I even make this up? My dad was one of my best friends. We had an awful relationship in my childhood and my teens. And then he became one of my best friends in my 20s. And he was the dad that I never had. It was awful saying goodbye to him. It was probably worse than actually the idea of the abuse, was having to say goodbye. Why would I make this?
So you thought her childhood was wonderful, and she says that it was broken, toxic, highly dysfunctional.
No signs. No signs.
So you missed all of that.
She was a good actress, wasn't she?
Tomorrow.
I
I did not raise my children to be the monsters that they are.
A mother fed up.
Are you little monsters?
No, I'm usually a big teddy bear.
Were you a teddy bear when there were gunshots at a party you were having?
But who's to blame?
So you agree you spoiled them?
Great question. Dr. Phil, here's the deal. I just realized I'm an enabler. I am codependent.
Okay, now answer my question.
Oh, repeat the question.
That's tomorrow. Then, on Friday, they claim their daughter-in-law is manipulative, vindictive.
And I quote, a witch.
But is sorcery?
You have a cauldron that you use to release negative feelings?
Yes.
The source
She said you threatened her with a gun.
What?
of the problem?
Do you miss your parents?
No, I don't.
I have not demanded that you be a part of
You
my
have been on me since the beginning.
No, I
and
haven't.
you have
I
told
have
him.
Okay.
That's Friday. Then on Monday, when it comes to social media stars,
Better break down right now.
How far is too far?
banned for bad behavior.
I was making over $100K a month and then $0 now.
That's Monday on Dr. Phil.
Why would I make...
You tell me.
Because I didn't.
I'm sorry?
Because I didn't.
I'm not saying you did.
And what are these memories from?
Well, there are a lot of options. They could be real. You're on medications and you don't take the medications as prescribed, and there are huge side effects to the medications. You're doing a lot of therapies that can have profound effects. You don't tend to stick with the therapies that you do. You're kind of hopping around trying different things because you're desperate for help, right? You know, you're taking Seroquel and you start it and stop it. And that's a very powerful medication, and it can be very disruptive. Both of your parents describe your childhood one way, and you describe it very differently. So there are different perceptions going on here. Your parents describe your childhood as just something out of a novel, just wonderful, rich, nurturing, great childhood.
Okay.
You describe it as broken, toxic, highly dysfunctional, sad, lonely, jealous, filled with self-hatred, judgment from your father, treated like garbage, hated yourself from the age of 10.
Because there's a lot going on.
Did y'all live in the same house?
I know. I had no clue. I had no clue.
You need to have a clue. I ask you questions and you say, well, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
I understand.
I mean, you need to tune in here and give me some help here, because she says something about being molested by your ex-husband and having a god-awful, horrible childhood, and you're like, gee, I wasn't around. Yeah, you were.
I was
You were around. So
we were
you need to
divorced.
give me some help, because I wasn't there.
I had no idea that she was an unhappy child because she was always happy around me. She loved to dance. I supported that. She was happy at school. I supported that. And she did complain about going to be with her father. After we were divorced, she would cry and say that she didn't want to go because she was scared of him. But I felt that she needed to go see her father. She never told me that he had done anything to her or that there was any problems until later in life.
So you thought her childhood was wonderful, because you told us it was wonderful.
She
says that it was broken, toxic, highly dysfunctional, sad, lonely.
No signs. No
So
signs.
you missed all of that.
Okay.
That's what you're telling me. You missed all of that.
I missed it because...
You thought she was just a ray of sunshine.
She was a good actress, wasn't she?
Couldn't be happier.
That's how she presented herself to me.
So you had them fooled.
I did. I put on a happy front.
So it was all a fraud.
I'm not saying that every moment of my life has been awful, but the basis of it, very dysfunctional.
I believe that she does not know how to process reality. And she's always been that way. She takes everybody's problems and internalizes them, and she can't process them. And then it becomes a problem.
I feel like I don't deserve to feel the way that I feel. I feel like what you're saying is that I don't deserve, like, that because of what my parents are saying, that my reality isn't real.
What do you mean? You don't deserve to feel what?
The way that I felt about my childhood, that's how I coped. I just covered it up.
No, you're 180% wrong.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm astounded that they missed it. I think you're describing how you did feel. I'm astounded that they were that clueless.
Right.
I'm not saying you don't have the right to feel the way you feel. I'm saying that's how you felt. You're entitled to own your emotions. I'm astounded that they were so asleep at the switch that they missed it. Didn't you hear me say you need to tune in and figure something out here now? Quit telling me, I don't know. It's time to know. I'm telling her, wake up. It's time to know. You missed it then. Don't miss it now. Hell, I'm on your side.
I'm listening.
I don't know.
Recognize your friends here. I'm on your side of this deal. I'm not agreeing with everything that you perceive. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, T and I are going to be here by ourselves, and we're going to talk about her life. We'll be right back. You wanted a cleaner, a loofah, 5 gallons of purified water, 6 medium to large sweet potatoes, well cooked. You wanted our production staff to go out and acquire for you and bring to you. He has been helping.
I decided to take a lie detector test, more for my own satisfaction, and I scored 98 out of 100, which is as high as this individual had ever seen.
Larry did take the lie detector, and he did pass. I don't want to be the judge. And I support Taylor 100%. She knows how I feel about it. I am not going to accuse Larry because that's not my job. Only Larry knows, and God, and Taylor.
It's confusing. I know that lie detector tests can be easily passed.
I think it's going to take her a while to process this, and maybe Dr. Phil can help her just move past it.
I still have the memories, and I still have the body memories. I need him to accept that I remember these things, and I would like his support.
Well, I'm back, and I'm talking to T. Your father is not out here because there's a issue between them. She has accused him of sexually molesting her as a child. He denies that. She says it did happen. I'm not really focused on that right now. So Larry, father, and Jan, mother, are backstage, and I'm here with Taylor, who goes by T. Before we took a break, you said, can I get a drink of water? And I said, of course. So we brought you a bottle of water. Then you told my stage manager, I don't want this water, I want my water. What do you mean your water?
Oh, I just had, it just had some electrolytes in it. It's not a big deal.
You also, with our staffers, while you've been here, you've asked them to go and get you dishes, storage containers, glass if possible. Plastic is okay, but you prefer glass, small and medium if possible. You wanted a cleaner, a certain brand, a dish soap, a certain brand, a loofah, 5 gallons of purified water, 6 medium to large sweet potatoes, well cooked, mushy, cold, a can opener, silverware, 1/2 measuring cup, a small space heater, Bounty paper towels, and small Ziplocs. These are the lists that you wanted our production staff to go out and acquire for you and bring to you.
Well, I said that I would need to go get these things, and they said that to let them know what I needed and that they could get them for me. So I made a list. It's not a big deal. I can go and get them myself.
You also wanted to change hotels. What was wrong with your hotel?
Well, our room smells like marijuana.
Yeah, you never told them that. You just said you wanted to change hotels. Does your mother usually do what you ask her to do?
A majority.
How old are you?
32.
You know, the average life expectancy now is going up. Is like, for women, it's like 83. It means you got like 51 years left on average. What do you plan to do for the next 50 years?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to live like this anymore.
That's a long time to kind of be bored and unhappy, right? Well, I have a two-word question for you that I think just could change your life. Two-word question. And I'm going to ask you that right after the break.
Tomorrow on Dr. Phil. She claims her kids are monsters.
So you agree you spoiled them?
Great question. Here's the deal. I just realized I'm an enabler.
Okay, now answer my question.
Oh, repeat the question.
That's tomorrow.
Closed captioning provided by...
Right now, we're all feeling a little strapped.
My mom has been my rock. She has been how I've gotten through all of this. I mean, she's bathed me when I blew out my rib cage from crying so hard. She's financially my provider, physically, emotionally, but I am so dependent on her. And I'm so triggered by the guilt I feel and the resentment I feel of not being able to take care of myself, of not being able to grow up and have a normal childhood, of not having a mom who would just play instead of working all the time and buying my love.
The two-word question I've got for you is what if? You say, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I feel helpless. I feel hopeless. I don't know what success looks like for me. I'm not even sure where I am. I sure don't know where I'm going. I don't have an objective, a goal, a place I'm trying to get. And I'm saying, what if you had the answer to some of those questions? What if you recognized that small changes added up to big results across time? What if you had a plan to start requiring more of yourself every day? What if you started holding yourself accountable? What if you decided to behave your way to success? What if you started setting some interim goals and you started to achieve those things one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other? And you realize, you know what? The next 6 months is going to go by whether I'm doing something about my life or not. So I might as well start doing some things, whether they make sense to me or not. And I get to the end of that 6 months and I look back. Because you know something? I've done a big study over years and years and years. Robin can tell you I've studied success since I was 12 years old. And I found out that success leaves clues. If you ask people, what is success for you? What's a win look like for you? They'll tell you, oh, I can tell you what it's going to look like. I can tell you what it's going to feel like. I can tell you who's going to be there. I can tell you what I'm going to be wearing. I can tell you what the room's going to smell like. I can tell you what Everything's going to look like I can see it. It's a movie in my mind. I can see it right there. I know it. I know it. And I am going to take action towards a known outcome. They know where they're going. And the reason that's so important is because if this step presents itself, do they take that step or not? They say, yep. How do I know that? Because I know where I'm going. And this gets me closer to where I'm going, so I take that step. This step presents itself. Do I take it? Yep. How do I know that? Because I know where I'm going. This step presents itself. Do I take it? Nope. How do I know that? Because I know where I'm going. You don't know where you're going. You're like a missile without a guidance system. Even if you got healthy, even if you got energized, even if you got motivated, you're like a missile without a guidance system. You're just flopping around and you wouldn't know where you're going. You have to decide what you want. What if you decided what you want? And you set that goal and you started behaving your way closer to it. And you realize, you know what? A little step doesn't get me much closer, but then I take another little one and another little one and another little one and another little one and another little one, and pretty soon it's April, and hell, I'm way down the road. You can behave your way out of this. There is nothing that you can't overcome. I've been doing this for 45 years. I've had people I've worked with for 2 years to get them where you are. You've got a good mind. You've got a good body. You've got skills. You can get up right now and dance on this stage. You have skills. I've seen you on tape. Damn, you're good. And you know what? I'm going to give you one piece of advice that you can take right now that will change your life. And that is, if you have a void in your life, what you need to do is give away what you need the most. You feel lonely, don't you? Then you need to find people more lonely than you, and you need to give them what you need, which is love, companionship, and caring. You have become so self-absorbed, so focused on what's going on with you, you need to become a giver. Look at that picture. And I mean, really look at it. That's you. Remember that? It takes a lot of skill and ability to do what you do. You can give that to young girls and teach them to have pride and skill and ability where they will walk taller and have pride in themselves, and I guarantee you, you'll walk out of there feeling better about who you are. And before you know it, you won't have time to be worried about some of the things you're worried about. You'll be too busy to be depressed. And you'll be too happy to be anxious. You're stuck because you're self-absorbed. And I'm not trying to insult you. I'm saying that's what happens when we get sick and we become a patient. You've stopped living and you've started existing. What if you started living again instead of just surviving? Now, what do you hear me saying?
Just need to change my behavior and get out of my own way and just fight through the darkness and help other people.
Can I finish your sentence for you? Dr. Phil, I hear you, but I don't know how to start.
I don't know how to start.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'll help you.
I'm terrified.
I know. But does it make sense?
Yeah. I'm not asking for like a magic pill, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to.
Be careful, I caught you smiling.
Tomorrow.
I did not raise my children to be the monsters that they are.
A mother fed up.
Are you little monsters?
No, I'm usually a big teddy bear.
Were you a teddy bear when there were gunshots at a party you were having?
But who's to blame?
So you agree you spoiled it?
Great question. Dr. Phil, here's the deal. I just realized I'm an enabler. I am codependent.
Okay, now answer my question.
Oh, repeat the question.
That's tomorrow. Then, on Friday, they claim their daughter-in-law is...
Quite literally, and I quote, a witch.
Who cast the spell on their son.
Do you think she's got the witch's power?
That's Friday.
Trying to find something that can help me find a balance, and so I can go out there and I can get excited without it spiraling into anxiety and having an anxiety attack.
Can I respond to that?
Please.
You said I'm looking for something. Yeah. Get a real close-up on her, please. That's what you're looking for. It's not a pill. It's not a therapy. It's not a therapist. That's what you're looking for right there. You got to find you again. The difference between winners and losers is winners just do things losers don't want to do. It's really just that simple. You know, people say to me sometimes, Dr. Phil, do you think problems are as simple as you make them out to be? I don't think problems are simple. I think they're complex. I think they're layered. I think they have deep roots. I think there's all kinds of issues to problems. They're like a damn Rubik's Cube. It's the solutions that are simple. Are you willing to do things that you're now not doing?
Yes.
And if you are, I'm willing to help you do that. I'm willing to get you a coach that will help you get up in the morning, will help you set objectives, will help you behave your way to success. Because you are good, you are smart, you are talented, you can do what you need to do. Do something for me right now. Sit up really straight. Put your shoulders back and sit up really straight. Just that simple thing is something you need to start doing. You sit around like you're a sick old woman. You're not a sick old woman. You're a young, vibrant woman.
What do I do about how I feel on the inside then?
Well, trust me.
Okay.
It's coming. Do you believe that if you change your behavior, you can change your life?
Yes.
When you choose a behavior, you choose the consequences. You can go home and get in fetal position in a dark room. That will change your life, will it not? That will make your week dark and small.
That's what I usually do.
Exactly. Well, we're going to turn the lights on, open the door, get you up, get you dressed, get you showered, get you groomed, and get you into the world. Are you telling me you don't recognize that will change your life?
No, it will.
I'm sorry?
It will. It can.
Damn right it will. Does that solve all of your problems? No. It's a step in the right direction, and then we build momentum, and then we build on that, we build on that. And I will help you do that. You want to play?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm going to talk to T's parents. I'm going to excuse her in a minute at the break and talk to them, and then we're going to be done here. But our relationship is just starting.
Good.
This isn't the end, it's just the beginning. And I am relentless.
You don't know, but me too.
Fair enough? All right, we'll be right back. back, and I've excused T. Taylor and asked Larry and Jan to come back out. You guys have been listening to my conversation that I had with your daughter. What do you think about our conversation?
Amazing. I think it is much needed, and I'm willing to be a part of it and help facilitate pulling away or backing off or whatever it takes to make it happen.
What do you think about my conversation with her?
It was very productive. I think you put it out there in front of her, asked some tough questions, and making her hopefully make the change that she needs. She needs some guidance, and I think the life coach is a brilliant concept that just kind of stay with her.
Look, I think she's overtreated and underhelped. And I don't know what all she... she's been doing, but I know that she's not being compliant with the people that she is seeing, and she's apparently not being helped by the people that she is seeing. It's pretty clear you don't believe that you did anything. She has accused him of sexually molesting her as a child. He denies that. She says it did happen. I think what's important is that we, as hard as it is, put things on the shelf right now and focus on her getting healthy. My advice to her was that she needs to get out of herself and give to other people right now, that she needs to behave her way into a healthier lifestyle. Summer is the season where most kids look forward to no school, lots of free time, and warm days to go out and play. But for many children, summer means a lot less to eat. During the school year, more than 22 million children receive free or reduced price meals, but that drops to less than 4 million in the summer. During the summer, the Feeding America network of food banks helps provide free meals to children who depend on them during the school year. Find out how you can help feed a child this summer by going to drphil.com, because summer is no fun when you're hungry. Lines on her in terms of her lab work and stuff like that. I want you to take her and get some lab work, because I would like to have her titrated off of these medications so you get a baseline. You don't know who she is or where she is when she is taking medications, powerful medications with serious side effects in an erratic fashion. And I think medically supervised, she needs to titrate off those medications, and let's see where she is baseline. Okay, and then we can make a decision about medications if she needs them at all. And CAST Centers is one of the most sophisticated life coaching programs in the entire United States, and they work with CEOs of Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies. They work with some of the most sophisticated celebrities in the business, and Coach Mike Baer is the director there, and they have agreed to provide a life coach for her that will work with her. I'm talking granular, minute to minute, day to day, to make sure that she gets up and gets out. She has talent, she has skills, she has abilities. She needs to get out there and at least be working with people, giving things away. She could be volunteering, if nothing else, in the school systems and inner city with these kids. It would fill her up so much. Use the things that she's good at. So her self-esteem will just go up, 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 up. We shouldn't have time for all of that. Let's get her engaged. Let's get her involved. Then we'll get her employed. Then we'll get her on a career path. Then we'll get her moved. But let's start making small steps as we go along.
Her and Jan are living together. What procedures, what can she do if Taylor has one of those episodes where she tells her, I'm just not going to get up. I don't feel like it.
That's where the coach comes in. And you need to, the coach is going to coach you as well.
I prefer that she moved out.
Absolutely. And as soon as that's possible, then we'll get that done.
Yeah.
We're not going to put her on the curb with a cardboard box and there's stuff in it, but we'll have a plan. We're not trying to punish her. No. We're trying to motivate her and move her in the right direction. And I have a sneaking suspicion that you will be very cooperative with this.
Oh, yes.
And very supportive. And you're going to see that we're not going to try to do anything radical or harsh with her. We're going to do this positively and motivate her. And it's going to start right away. Okay. Fair enough?
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right.
Thank you.
I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Cass Centers and my friend, life coach Mike Baer, for agreeing to help T. Cass Centers has the most sophisticated life coaches in the entire country. They do amazing work, and they have agreed to really work with T on many different levels, and Mike is going to oversee all of that, and he is the best of the best. His new book is One Decision, New York Times bestseller. I highly, highly recommend it, and they're going to be working out of One Decision. For more information about today's episode, log on to drphil.com. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to my podcast, Fill in the Blanks. This is a new year and a new you. Listen in and find out strategies to help you live your best life. You don't want to miss it. Check out Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw, with Stacey London of TLC's What Not to Wear, and breaks down every uncomfortable, difficult, and liberating aspect of menopause that nobody else wants to talk about. And Robin explains why it just might be the start of the best stage of your life. Check it out on Apple.